Yo, what's up guys? d-cellgaming here, back with another Final Gear. And today I'm going to be reviewing the collab units, Rei and Asuka. We're going to be talking about their skill kits and what I like about them, my thoughts on them, and whether I think they're a must pull or should you save your crystals. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Alright guys, and like all of my character reviews, I'm going to go over their skill kit, their aesthetics, what I think's good about the units, and whether or not these guys are worth your crystals. But before we do that, I want to dive into one thing I didn't talk about in my previous video, and that is the collab units specifically. If you go into the trophy missions, you will see that all of the collab units, Shinji included, they are part of the trophy rewards. You're going to get backup powers, angel tickets, and SSR sequences for putting them in a team and attacking angels with them. I didn't go over that, so that's worth noting. And another thing I want to talk about before we dive into the reviews is do keep in mind that all of the collab units have increased sequence cost for modifying them to 4-star, 5-star, and 6-star. The rewards don't add up when you actually go to the summon banner. You don't get really enough. You're gonna have to either pay money to get extra sequences, or you're gonna have to really grind out this event to make it happen. Now Shinji, of course, we're gonna get enough for him. You can buy all of his sequences in the shop, and I don't know if in a week or two if we're gonna get extra ways to get sequences, so that is to be said. But as of now, do keep in mind for low spenders and free-to-play units, getting these collab units is much harder to level up than normal units, so this could be a deciding factor in whether you summon for these units or not. And real quick, I'm gonna just talk about their aesthetics real quick. I think they're actually pretty bland, and I might get into a little bit of trouble with that because I know a lot of people really like Evangelion, but if you compare them with the artwork to other Final Gear characters like Tasia, for example, or Eloise, their character designs just feel very bland. So if you're coming in this collab event and you're not familiar with the series, I can see players not really caring too much for their design. Now, if you do love the series, I think they're well animated and they're well designed within the Final Gear game. So they look excellent within the game. So don't jump on the hate train too much on me on this. I just think, like, take Bernadette, for example, like literally any of the other Final Gear characters, and they have way more detail to them. Because in the universe of Evangelion, it's not very flashy. All of the characters are pretty bland. So when you put those kind of characters next to literally any character in this game, Natasha, PN26, you know, Ilya Heath, literally any character, and they're gonna kind of look bland in comparison. So unless you really like Evangelion, like, you're probably not going to be really sold on their design. That's just my opinion. For one, I love them. I think they look great in the game, and it's nice to see characters that you like, you know, within the game. So that's cool and all, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and review the banners and talk about their skill kits, and then we'll go over some thoughts on each of the characters and what I think about them. So looking at Rei here, she is a defender with the ramparts and heavy specialization, so she's going to have rampart boost, and you know, heavy parts give her more health. Let's talk about her skills now. The high gear will raise a shield that absorbs damage equal to 30% of her max health and taunts nearby enemies until shields are broken. While shielded, reduces her damage taken by 20%. The custom mech suit activation effect: Rei raises a shield and she cannot be attacked, but she can move, and then taunts nearby enemies until the shield is broken. While shielded, reduces her damage taken. Shields at a different level grant different effects. When the shield is at level 1, it absorbs damage equal to 40% of her max health and reduces her damage by 20%. At level 2, that's 45% and 25%. At level 3, it's 50% and 30%. And whenever she takes damage, reflects damage to the attacker equal to 75% of her attack. When battle starts, the shield will be at level 1. Release of this skill will level it up. If shielded already when releasing the skill, the effect of the shield will be leveled up immediately. So that is a whole mouthful, and don't worry, when we get to the end of this, I'm going to break down what her skill kit is and what she does. so it's easier to understand. Her second skill is boost health by 20% and income healing by 15%. The custom mech suit increases this to 25% and incoming healing by 20%. Her third skill, the passive, whenever Rei deals damage, there is a 50% of recharging 100 energy, triggers once every 2 seconds. Whenever Rei takes damage, there is also a 50% chance of recharging 100 energy, also triggers once every 2 seconds. The custom mech activation, whenever Rei deals damage, there is a 70% chance of recharging 100 energy and gaining 10% shield experience. Triggers once every 2 seconds. Now this also happens when she takes damage as well, so when she deals damage or takes damage, she will get shield experience and has a 70% chance of recharging 100 energy. When shield XP reaches 100%, release active skills to level up the shield. And her fourth skill, when Rei's shield is broken, grants an effect to nearby teammates, reducing their damage taken by 20% for 10 seconds. Now the custom suit will be when Rei's shield is broken, grants a shield that absorbs damage equal to 30% of her max health to each teammate and reduces their damage by 15% for 10 seconds. All right, so that was a mouthful. So what does it all mean? Well, Rei is a defender and she really wants to get her shields up and taunt enemies towards her. So her first skill, the high gear, will taunt enemies and then she shields herself and absorbs damage reduces the damage that she takes. So when you have her custom mech, she can't attack, but she can move. And then the shields get stronger the more times that you use it. And then she will reflect 75% of her attack stat when she is attacked. So she can't attack, but she kind of has like a thorns damage type of thing. If you're familiar with like, Diablo games or something like that, she will do damage to enemies attacking her. Now it's worth noting that she shields herself first before shielding her allies, because what she wants to do as a unit is shield herself, draw attention to herself, taunt people to her, and then make her shield burst. So skill 2 is going to raise her HP and incoming healing, and her custom mech just further strengthens that passive. So this is a direct upgrade to her high gear and also how her fourth passive works. So this is overall going to make her a better tank. Her skill 3, when she's attacked or is attacking, has a chance of recovering energy. Now the custom mech will beef this passive to also give her 10% shield XP, and at 100%, once she attacks or gets attacked 10 times, she will be able to release that high gear and it will be at another level, so her high gear will strengthen more quickly. This also increases the chances of this happening up to 70%. So this skill is used to ramp up the usage of her high gear and also make it more effective quicker. So it's designed to really ramp up. Now her skill 4 is what provides the damage mitigation for the rest of her team and why she's designed to have her shield burst and reapplied and burst and reapplied. So when the shield breaks, the whole team will get a damage reduction of 20%. Now, when you have her custom mech, what actually happens is when that shield bursts, she kind of has like that Liangle effect, except it's not as strong. So when her shield bursts, it will give a absorb shield of 30% of her max HP to the rest of your teammates. And it will also provide them with 15% damage reduction for 10 seconds. So this is like providing a whole damage mitigation for the whole rest of your team. Now it is worth noting that her passive talent skill will help stun enemies in the taunt area. So she's gonna kind of want to taunt people, stun them a little bit. She wants to provide chances for the rest of her team to do their DPS and also provide mitigation when that shield bursts. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move right on along to Asuka. So Asuka is a machine gun specialist and she has medium part specialist as well. She is a shooter. So that means she's going to have a 10% boost to her attack with machine guns, and equipping medium parts in every slot will decrease damage by 10%. Moving on to her skill kit. Asuka summons a machine gun and unleashes a stream of bullets dealing 1089% damage. Also boosts damage by 10% for 30 seconds. The custom mech suit activation effect is when she summons a machine gun, unleashes a stream of bullets, and then at the very end drop kick as a finisher, dealing 1,360 damage. She will also enter the restless state, becoming invulnerable in the next 5 seconds and boosting damage by a whopping 300% and crit damage by 100% until the battle ends. After the invulnerability state loses effect, it will increase her damage taken by 15%. While in the restless state, Asuka gains 5% calmness whenever she takes damage, and when the calmness reaches 100%, the restless state loses effect immediately. Her second skill boosts damage by 15% and crit damage by 20%. Custom mech suit will increase this by 25% and 30%. Her third skill is critical hits have a 90% chance of ignoring enemy shields for 12 seconds. And the custom mech suit activation effect is her critical hits have a 25% chance of entering the proud state, which ignores enemy defense and shields for 5 seconds, does not stack, can only be refreshed. And her last skill here boosts critical chance by 15%. When Asuka takes damage, there is a 50% chance of recharging 200 energy, triggers once every 2 seconds. The custom mech suit will boost critical chance by 25%. When she takes damage, there is a 60% chance of recharging 300 energy, triggers once every 2 seconds. Also, when standard attacks hits an enemy, there is a 20% chance of restoring health equal to 10% of her attack. This also triggers once every 2 seconds. Alright, so let's break down what all this means. Her skill 1 will just straight up increase her damage for 30 seconds. So her high gear will help her do more damage, and it adds an extra attack once she has the custom mech activated. When she has the custom mech activated, it will actually make her invulnerable for 5 seconds, and then she will have increased damage taken to her by 15%. Now, the big kicker here is that she's going to increase her damage by 3 times, 300%, and gain 100% extra crit damage while entering the restless state. So she will gain 5 calmness after she starts taking damage, and that's 5% every time. So after she takes 20 hits, then she will remove the restless state and just go back to doing normal damage. So we can see here she's designed to have a burst window of high amounts of damage. Her skill 2 is just an overall DPS increase. It's going to boost her damage, it's going to boost her crit damage passively, and her custom mech activation only makes both of these values higher. Her skill 3 has a high chance to ignore shields for 12 seconds. Now her custom mech activation will also give her a 25% chance to straight up ignore defense and shields for 5 seconds. So we can see this is a second window on her first window of extra burst damage. So we can kind of see how if things line up, she can do crazy amounts of damage and bypassing shield and bypassing armor and just taking down units and sniping them out. So she definitely is designed with kind of like an RNG nature in mind, with very, very high burst potential. Now her skill 4 is just going to straight up boost her crit chance. So this is going to give her a 25% extra crit chance when she has her custom mech activated, and then she's going to basically recharge more energy, and it gives her sort of a life steal mechanic so she can kind of have higher survivability. For Asuka to really perform at optimal levels, she needs high crit chance, so her skill 4 will really help her out with that. It also helps beef up her high gear by helping her push them out more often, getting those 30% damage increases, getting that restless state going, and keeping her within that burst window longer. So that's kind of what she's designed to do. So what are my final thoughts on these two units? Well, Rei is a very good tank who has a taunting ability, she can stun, and she provides mitigation for the entire team. She has a nice rotation to where she's going to shield herself, taunt enemies, and then burst her shield and provide mitigation for the entire team. So overall, she's a really, really good tank. However, if you have Liangle, she's totally not needed, and you can probably still get by if you have Eloise or Solveig, or even Samora, really. Honestly, like, Rei is very, very good. She's going to outperform those units, but she's not going to outperform Liangle. So if you have Liangle, it's more than enough, and you don't need Rei on team 2 or team 3 or whatever, you can get by with any of those other units I just listed. So no, I don't think Rei is a must pull. She's waifu or for collection purposes only. And Asuka's very strong DPS. She has high burst damage capabilities with defense and shield shredding. Like, she can bypass shields and bypass defense if you're lucky. This is all RNG in nature. So this means when she's hot, she's gonna be going crazy, going ham, just doing an insane amount of damage, shredding through shielded enemies and ignoring their defenses and things like that. But when she's cold, she's gonna be on the lower side. So as she's gonna have this big swing, and her burst windows will really make her damage shine. But when she's cold, you're not gonna see those crazy numbers. Sounds kind of like Trita a little bit. They're similar, but they work very different. They work very differently. Her DPS, while it can be very good, it's very RNG dependent, and it's not gonna be meta defining. It's not gonna be like, oh, you have to have this. You don't need the damage capabilities. You don't even need, like, if you take into account what her capability is at her highest burst damage potential, you still don't need that to clear any of the content in the game. So I'm gonna have to say that she is also not a must pull, also for waifu or collection purposes. So both of these units, while very good units, they're no slouches, and they can help carry you, especially if you don't have strong DPS or a strong defensive unit. Either one of these can fill that role very admirably, but at the end of the day, you can have other units that are going to get the job done, and you can save your crystals. But hey guys, that's just my opinion on these things. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about these units? Are you going to pull for them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you hate what I said about them? Let me know in the comments down below. If you have any questions or concerns, just shoot them at me and I'll be happy to help you guys out. Also guys, if you've made it this far in the video, consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more content like this in the future. Also, if you guys want to throw a little extra support my way, there is now a join button down there for membership, which will give you access to extra emotes and sub badges and things like that. So another thing to consider if you want to throw some extra support my way would be greatly appreciated. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.